The entertainment world thrives on glitz, glam, and the constant allure of controversy. But every so often, allegations bubble to the surface that threaten to upend the carefully crafted images of the industry's elite. Lately, those allegations have centered around music royalty, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, aka the Carters. While fans have long revered the power couple for their artistry and business acumen, recent years have given rise to whispers of a darker legacy, one of alleged sabotage, silencing, and manipulation. And now, it's not just Nicki Minaj doing the talking. Artists like Blu Cantrell and Mýa, both of whom enjoy the spotlight in their own right, are being drawn into the narrative. Their stories, once buried or dismissed, are resurfacing amid renewed scrutiny of the Carters' alleged influence behind the scenes. What's emerging is a troubling pattern that raises questions about gatekeeping, power plays, and the hidden cost of crossing music's most powerful couple. Let's break it all down. The fear of the Carters fades. For years, even the idea of going up against Beyoncé or Jay-Z seemed unthinkable. Their grip on the industry, both musically and commercially, was seen as too strong. But with Nicki Minaj now publicly challenging their alleged behind-the-scenes tactics, a new wave of artists are seemingly finding the courage to speak out. Nicki hasn't been subtle. She's taken to social media multiple times since 2023, naming names, hinting at plots, and accusing Roc Nation, the company helmed by Jay-Z, of sabotaging her career, threatening her family, and attempting to manipulate her public image. For a while, her critics brushed it off as a disgruntled artist lashing out. But now, with others backing her claims, the tide may be turning. Blu Cantrell, a rising star who suddenly vanished. Blu Cantrell's voice once soared across the charts in the early 2000s, her hit, Hit 'Em Up Style, becoming an anthem of empowerment. At the peak of her career, she had labels fighting to sign her and a fan base eager for more. But in 2004, something strange happened. Arista Records, her label, forgot to renew her contract. That's right. One of their most successful and promising talents was simply let go without fanfare or explanation. It wasn't just puzzling, it was suspicious. In a candid interview with You Know I Got Soul, Blu later revealed her deep regret at not having a mentor or advisor to help her navigate the cutthroat business of music. She admitted she didn't fully understand the financial side of her career and ultimately earned far less than she should have during her time at the label. But the story gets darker. Years later, in 2012, reports emerged of Blu experiencing a psychological episode in Santa Monica, screaming in public about being gassed. Authorities took her in for evaluation, but fans were left wondering, what happened to this once rising star? Whispers suggest her downfall wasn't entirely organic. Allegedly, Blu had some behind-the-scenes beef with Beyoncé, and possibly even Jay-Z. Rumors swirled that Jay had shown romantic interest in Blu, sparking jealousy and internal tension. Though Blu repeatedly denied ever having a relationship with Jay-Z, she did admit, on Wendy Williams' show no less, that she had a massive crush on him. Her body language and words left room for speculation, and speculation breeds stories. Fans noted how Beyoncé and Jay-Z's OZO3 Bonnie and Clyde video bore uncanny similarities to the visuals for Blu's earlier single, Roundup. Some saw this as a sign that Blu was not only being emulated, but also edged out. The final blow? Blu's massive duet with Sean Paul was quickly followed by Beyoncé's own smash collaboration with the same artist on Baby Boy. Coincidence? Maybe. But for those watching closely, it felt like a coordinated chess move, one that eventually pushed Blu Cantrell off the board. Now, in the wake of Nicki's allegations, insiders claim Blu is preparing to tell her side of the story in full. And if the rumors are true, her truth may shake the industry to its core. Mýa, the silenced Grammy nominee. Another name re-entering the conversation is Mýa, an R&B princess from the late 90s and early 2000s, who was once poised to become one of the genre's leading ladies. Her hits like Case of the Ex, Best of Me, and My Love Is Like, Whoa, kept her at the top of the charts and in the hearts of fans. But as with Blu Cantrell, Mýa's career took a sudden turn. Mýa's 1998 debut album was a hit, followed by her sophomore project Fear of Flying and Mood Ring. At one point, she had millions of albums sold in the US alone and even earned a Grammy nomination. But at the height of her career, her visibility began to fade. Rumors swirled of a romantic connection between Mýa and Jay-Z, particularly after they collaborated on the remix to her hit Best of Me. Then came more serious whispers in 2014 that Jay was still secretly involved with Mýa even after marrying Beyoncé, going so far as to financially support her. If those claims held any truth, it would explain what came next. Suddenly, the narrative around Mýa changed. She wasn't the sweet, talented R&B singer anymore. She was from the streets, and her name became fodder for ugly rumors and disrespect. 50 Cent even took shots at her in public, adding insult to injury. Soon after, Mýa's label allegedly turned its back on her. Deals dried up, albums went unreleased, and fans were left wondering what happened. Behind the scenes, there have been murmurs that the Carters played a part, exerting influence over record labels and media outlets, slowly but effectively erasing Mýa from the industry. Now, with Nicki Minaj airing her grievances and naming names, Mýa is reportedly considering speaking out herself. If she does, her testimony could add yet another crack in the foundation of the Carters' pristine image. Nicki Minaj. The catalyst if Blu and Mýa are the newly emboldened voices, Nicki Minaj is the megaphone, and she's not backing down. Nicki's issues with the Carters and Roc Nation aren't new. For years, she's hinted that powerful forces were working against her, but it wasn't until recently that she started spelling it out. Much of the recent uproar stems from an explosive interview with Demariah Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. Hadley, currently suing her mother for involuntarily committing her to a mental institution, made shocking claims that Roc Nation actively sabotaged Nicki's career. She alleged the company targeted Nicki's husband and even her child, stripping Nicki of her freedom of speech and trying to break her spirit. Hadley stated plainly, "If it's happening to me, it's happening to her." Nobody is safe right now, and Nicki's fed up. Nicki herself has confirmed as much in a series of scathing tweets. She accused Jay-Z and his team of blacklisting her, shadow banning her accounts on social media, and using media mouthpieces like Elliott Wilson to diminish her work and image. She even accused Tidal, the streaming service Jay-Z once owned, of scamming her and trying to pay her off to stay quiet. One particularly pointed tweet read, "They got to keep the conversation on me so that no one talks about these charges against their BFF." Nicki has also implied that Roc Nation is financially backing other artists, such as Megan Thee Stallion, to outperform her by any means necessary. She even mocked Desiree Perez directly, saying, "Desiree, you gotta let it go, baby. The world knows she can't rap. Stop trying to make fetch happen." At this point, Nicki's feud with the Carters has evolved beyond personal grievance. It's a full-blown call-out of an allegedly corrupt system, and she wants others to stand with her. A pattern of silencing? While no court has proven that Jay-Z or Beyoncé orchestrated the fall of any artist, the consistency of the allegations is starting to get difficult to ignore. Blu Cantrell, Mýa, and Nicki Minaj all describe the same tactics: sudden career derailments, financial fallout, personal attacks, media manipulation, and silent blackballing. In each case, there's also a personal connection to Jay-Z, either romantic rumors, professional collaboration, or competition with Beyoncé. Could this really be coincidence? Or is it the byproduct of a powerful couple using their industry clout to eliminate threats? And what if more women speak out? The list of names that fans have begun floating is growing. Amerie, Tiaira Marie, Carrie Hilson, Tinashe, and even Cassie have all at some point been rumored to have fallen off after clashing, directly or indirectly, with the Carters. If even a handful of these women come forward with their own stories, the industry could face a reckoning unlike anything it's seen before. What comes next? At this moment, the conversation is still unfolding in real time. Nicki Minaj continues to post cryptic and not-so-cryptic messages about Roc Nation and its inner workings. Blu Cantrell and Mýa are reportedly considering telling their side. Demariah Hadley is continuing her legal fight against her mother and Roc Nation. And fans, they're divided. Some are fiercely loyal to the Carters, dismissing all this as jealousy, bitterness, or attention-seeking. Others are starting to see a pattern, one that implicates not just individuals, but an entire system built on favoritism, exploitation, and silence. Whether or not these claims are ever substantiated in a court of law, one thing is clear: the era of fear around the Carters may be ending. And if more artists continue to step forward, we may finally hear the stories that were buried long ago.